7 verses, 29 words, yet no prayer in Islam is complete without them. Why did Allah choose this chapter to open the Qur'an? Why did Allah choose these 7 verses to open His final revelation? And how does a chapter of only 7 verses contain the essence of an entire book of more than 6,000 verses? To understand the Qur'an, we must begin with Surah Al-Fatihah. Surah Al-Fatihah is the first chapter of the Qur'an. It consists of 7 verses, 29 words, and approximately 139 letters, according to the common count. It is generally classified as a Makki surah, meaning it was revealed before the migration to Medina. Al-Fatihah, because it opens the Qur'an, opens the prayer, and opens the door to understanding the rest of Allah's message. Why does the Qur'an begin with Al-Fatihah? This question is more important than it first appears. The Qur'an opens with praise, worship, and a request for guidance. Why? Because before Allah teaches humanity how to live, He teaches humanity how to approach Him. Before the laws, before the stories, before the warnings, before the promises. The Qur'an establishes the relationship between the servant and the Creator. Everything else comes later. Al-Fatihah is not merely the first chapter, it is the doorway through which every reader enters the Qur'an. One of the most fascinating aspects of Al-Fatihah is its structure. At first glance, the surah appears simple. But when scholars examined its design more carefully, they noticed remarkable patterns. The surah can be divided into 3 major sections. The first section introduces Allah. The second section establishes the relationship between Allah and His servant. The third section contains the servant's request. This movement is deliberate. The first section introduces Allah, verses 1 to 4. The surah begins by speaking about Allah. All praise belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the most merciful, master of the day of judgment. The surah begins by introducing Allah through His greatness, mercy, and justice. It teaches us who Allah is before teaching us what to ask from Him. Before asking Allah for anything, the believer first recognizes who Allah is. The second section establishes the relationship between Allah and His servant. Then He acknowledges His own role as a servant. Verse 5. The center of the surah is a declaration of commitment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Here, the conversation becomes personal. It is the believer's promise to worship Allah alone and depend on Him above all else. The third section contains the servant's request. Then he acknowledges his own role as a servant, verses 6 to 7. The surah ends with the believer's greatest request, guidance to the straight path, the path of those blessed by Allah, not those who rejected or lost the truth.